Peace. I just want to connect and make this video to talk about emotional energy because a lot of times people say that, emotions are wrong or that, it is something that, people delve into too much, such as women, for example, or that, you know, we need to think more and stop using our emotions. And I just want to say that it really doesn't matter which one you use, whether you are thinking or whether you are quote unquote being emotional. They both manifest as physical things in this plane, in this realm, in this dimension. And I just want to give an example. For example, if a woman is said to be too emotional, for example, she's always angry, she's always crying, she is still going to manifest things in this world. Whereas you may have a man, for example, who is, holds himself in high regard because he thinks and he uses his intellect. And I just want to say they're both using the same type of energy. A man is thinking, or even a woman, women can do this too, but the one person is thinking and they think that they're using their brain to make decisions and to execute judgments and exact results. Whereas the woman, she may not be thinking that she's using her womb to make decisions, or her, that's where the energy is coming from a lot of times. That when people say that people are being emotional, it is from the sacral center. So in a man, it's the sacral center, and a woman is the sacral center. So I'm using that for an example. The woman, she may not be thinking that she's using her quote unquote womb to make decisions, to exact judgment, to get a result. But it feels like it, right? She doesn't think it, but that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like those are where the decisions are coming from, where the thoughts, the feelings, and the emotions are coming from, is from the sacral center. Meanwhile, for the other person, they feel as though they're thinking with their mind. So they're both doing the same thing. They're just, their attention is just centered on different areas of the body, right? So that argument about people being too emotional needs to kind of, we need to analyze that differently. We need to look at that from a different perspective, because they both are going to have the same results here on this plane. And as I mentioned, as far as results go, what a person feels is going to manifest just as much as what a person thinks. And another example is that for somebody who is said to be too emotional, right, they carry a lot of this energy in their sacral center, such as anger, love, pain, hate. Love may rest in another chakra center, but you can still feel it in your womb center. So a lot of times that energy, if it is not expressed outwardly, it can solidify in the womb center. Just as somebody who thinks that they think and they're using their brain, they too can also have physical manifestations in their third eye center or their crown chakra center. It just manifests as a headache if it's not expressed outwardly, or if that energy is not restored. If the person who's emotional, if their energy is not restored, they have very low energy instead of a headache, or they may become sick, or they may experience inflammation in the area, such as pelvic inflammatory disease. Or even a man, he can have inflammation in his groin area. So they both have the same results, whether something is manifested in the physical world, in the outside world, or in the inside world. They're both going to have manifestations. So isn't that interesting? So a lot of times this dialogue about emotions being view that as something negative and something that, we should stay away from. It's not entirely true. Certain emotions we may need to balance with other emotions, just as certain thoughts need to be balanced with other thoughts. With the thought realm, people don't usually complain about people thinking negatively, because in their mind, you can't tell what somebody else is thinking. So people who think can get a pass for thinking negatively until those thoughts manifest as physical actions or results. And by that time, it's nothing you can do. You just gotta. That's when people act out emotionally, or they themselves start to think negative thoughts. So the two of them they're really not that very different if you look at it that way, except that with emotional energy, these feelings can be expressed probably sooner than these negative thoughts can be expressed, because your mind is rambling whether you like it or not. You can't really press the pause button unless you are a serious ascended master in meditation, and even then you may still not be able to do it. But your thoughts are always going, whether you want to think a negative thought or not. Whereas somebody who is feeling, they're always feeling, yes. But those feelings are going to be addressed probably far quicker than a person who is thinking negative thoughts. I also want to say that what you think and what you feel, both of them are also affected by outside sources. So if we live in a society that glorifies negativity, glorifies anger, hate, and things like that, it's no wonder that people who quote unquote feel or express negative emotions are going to possibly indulge in those negative emotions or energies. They may be more petty. They may express their hatred towards people. They may do things that cause pain, hurt, and so forth, right? Something that they're probably also feeling themselves. But isn't it interesting that only the people who quote unquote express these emotions are the ones who are demonized? But when somebody uses their intellect, uses their mind, uses their brain capacity to construct an entire system to cause pain, to express hate, to express anger, emotion, when they can codify their thoughts behind numbers and infrastructure and businesses, they're not demonized because, that's a powerful enterprise you got there. Oh, that is a large corporation you got there. Very strong, very powerful. But the person who expresses their emotion, who releases that energy immediately, whether it is good or bad, is demonized. Black people are a very emotional people in general. White people are very thought orientated, or so they think. So they are projected. So we can see that both energies can be damaging. It's just one group of people may be associating themselves with one energy, and another group of people by default, or just by the natural order of things, is associated with the other. So we're associated with the very emotional energy. So why is it though that You hear a lot of people talking about how, we should be, stop being so emotional, stop being so emotional, stop being so emotional. When that is in large part an energy that we have just by the very nature of us being here. Could it be that people are trying to idolize they're trying to idolize a group of people who are associated with thought and abandon the people associated with emotion, with expression, with sensualness, with soul, with spirit, for an archaic or a digital type of way of doing things, a very robotic, computeristic type nature. So I think that's something to think about. I feel that's something to think about. You feel me? Right? And the main reason I'm doing this is because, we need to release some of these emotions. A lot of us are bottling up a lot of emotions inside of us, just like people bottle up their thoughts. Some people, they bottle up their thoughts. By the time they release those thoughts, it's a massacre on the outside. Some of us, we bottle up our thoughts. And for especially for a lot of Black women, the only way those thoughts are released is through hysterectomy, through cutting out your womb, from fibroids, from ovarian cysts, from endometriosis, from pelvic inflammatory disease, from all type of pelvic, vaginal, just mess. And the same for men. Men can get erectile dysfunction and other groin area issues. So we just need to know how to channel this energy a little better, right? To balance out some of this extra thought energy that is just another way to conceal hatred and anger and emotion, because you think that you can cloak how you really feel. But this is just a video that I just want to put out there to enlighten some of you and to give you a different perspective at looking at emotions. Subscribe to my channel and do all that. Peace.